Energy don't lie. You can dress it up, hide behind words, play cool with your actions, but deep down you feel it. You feel when something off. You feel when her presence don't hit the same anymore. That peace you used to feel when she walked in the room is replaced by pressure. And pressure ain't always progress. Sometimes it's your soul reminding you, this connection ain't feeding me no more. See, energy don't got a language, it's vibration. You can't fake it, can't force it, can't finesse it. When it's right, it flows naturally. When it's wrong, you gotta chase it. And the moment you find yourself chasing something that used to meet you halfway, that's when you already know. You just don't want to accept it. You holding on to what it was, not what it is. Everybody want to talk about love like it's supposed to hurt. Like being loyal means ignoring your spirit. But loyalty without peace is slavery, my G. You can't keep giving your time, your heart, your focus to something that keeps taking from you. That's how people lose themselves. They keep pouring into somebody who stopped valuing the poor. And when you love somebody deep, you start making excuses for their energy. You tell yourself she's just tired, she's just going through something, she just needs space. But deep down, you know that space turned into distance and distance turned into disconnect. When the energy shifts, it don't always mean hate. Sometimes it's just growth. You evolving, she comfortable. You talking purpose, she talking problems. You trying to build, she trying to be entertained. And that's when it hits you. Y'all ain't on the same frequency no more. And that's okay. It don't make her a bad person and it don't make you cold for walking away. It just means your paths crossed long enough to teach each other what needed to be learned. Ain't nothing wrong with wanting peace. Ain't nothing weak about choosing yourself. People confuse that. They'll say you changed. They'll say you cold now. But they ain't understand what it costs you to stay solid in a space that don't feed your soul. When you out here chasing vision, when you trying to build legacy, you need energy that aligns with that mission. Love shouldn't drain you, it should ground you, motivate you, center you. You know what's crazy? The universe always sends signs before it sends storms. You start noticing little things, conversations feel heavy, you start doubting yourself more, and you stop smiling the same. That's your energy trying to whisper before it got a scream. You can ignore it for a while, but eventually life gonna make you face it. I've learned walking away don't always mean the love gone. It just means you love yourself enough to not keep breaking your own spirit trying to fix something that's done. That's real strength. Anybody can stay. It takes wisdom to know when to go. Energy don't lie. It exposes truth before words do. And when her energy starts feeling like confusion, silence, or competition, it's time to listen to what your soul been saying. Don't wait till the damage too deep. Don't wait till you start recognizing yourself. See, when you operating from love, you want everybody to win. You want to see her glow. You want to see her happy. But sometimes the best way to do that is from a distance. Because when two people out of alignment, they don't heal each other. They hurt each other trying to hold on. The real flex ain't staying in chaos just to say you loyal. The real flex is having the discipline to say, I still got love for you, but I love me too. So when you feel that shift, don't ignore it. Respect it. Move with peace, not pain. She served her purpose in your story. Maybe she taught you how to love. Maybe she showed you your limits. Maybe she reminded you what self-worth looks like. Either way, take the lesson, not the bitterness. Because at the end of the day, you can't build peace on top of confusion. You can't chase purpose while holding on to what's pulling you backwards. Let go with grace. Keep your energy clean. Protect your frequency. Energy don't lie, and neither should you to yourself. Loyalty ain't love if it's one-sided. You can't keep being real with someone who only meets you halfway. That's not loyalty. That's self-betrayal disguised as devotion. There's a difference between holding someone down and holding yourself back. A lot of people don't see it because their heart too loyal, their love too deep, and they think consistency going to eventually make the other person match their energy. But it don't work like that. You can't teach somebody how to value what they already take for granted. See, when you're loyal, you move different. You love different. You think in terms of us, not me. You plan around their dreams. You sacrifice for the bond. You show up even when they don't ask. But what happens when that same loyalty don't get reflected back? What happens when you the only one trying to keep the connection alive while the other person treated like an option? That's when the pain hit deep. Because you realize it wasn't love, it was habit. It was comfort. It was your hope fighting their indifference. Real love is teamwork. It's two people choosing each other daily, even when it's inconvenient. It's both of y'all pouring into the same cup. But when it's one-sided, that cup gonna run dry fast. Because you can't be the only one building, healing, giving, and expecting balance. Love don't survive on effort from one side. You can't water a garden by yourself and expect flowers to bloom for two. Too many people confuse loyalty with endurance. They think staying through disrespect, neglect, or emotional distance makes them strong. But staying where your soul ain't respected ain't strength. It's fear. Fear of being alone, fear of starting over, fear of losing the image of what you wanted it to be. But loyalty to pain don't make you solid. It just keeps you stuck. When it's real, loyalty don't feel like sacrifice. It feel like rhythm. You move, they move. You grow, they grow. You don't gotta beg for love that's meant for you. You don't gotta chase energy that belongs to you. But when it's one-sided, you start doing things you shouldn't have to, explaining your worth, begging for attention, proving your value. And once you start doing that, you already lost yourself trying to keep something that's slipping anyway. You gotta pay attention to effort, not excuses. Words sound sweet, but consistency tell the truth. Love without action is just conversation. And loyalty without respect is manipulation. Don't let nobody guilt you into staying in a place where you're not being appreciated. Your loyalty should be earned, not exploited. Sometimes you outgrow people because you stop settling for the bare minimum. You stop mistaking potential for partnership. You realize love ain't supposed to feel like waiting on change. It's supposed to feel like peace. When you loyal to somebody who ain't loyal back, you start losing your spark, your confidence, your focus. You forget who you are trying to remind them who you are. And that's where you got to draw the line. Walking away don't mean you gave up. That means you finally understood your own value. It means you realize loyalty should elevate both souls, not drain one to feed the other. You can love somebody and still know they ain't good for your growth. You can wish them the best and still close the door. That's maturity. That's self-respect. And don't get it twisted, real loyalty still exists. It's just rare. It lives in people who mean what they say, who show up when it's inconvenient, who don't switch up when the vibe changes. But to find that, you gotta stop accepting half-effort love. You gotta stop carrying relationships that can't carry you back. At the end of the day, love is partnership. Loyalty is the foundation. But if that foundation cracked and you the only one patching it, it's time to step back. Let people meet you where you stand, or let them fall behind. Don't keep bending to fit someone who wouldn't even lean to meet you. You deserve reciprocity. You deserve effort that matches yours. You deserve someone who chooses you without hesitation, not someone who only remembers your worth when you start to pull away. Because when loyalty is real, it's mutual. It's not begged for, it's built. It's not proven, it's felt. So yeah, loyalty ain't love if it's one-sided. It's a lesson. And once you learn it, you'll stop chasing people who make you question your worth and start building with people who remind you of it. You can't save someone who ain't ready. You can pour your whole heart into them, give them the game, show them love, patience, loyalty. But if they're not ready to face themselves, it's all wasted energy. You can't heal somebody who's comfortable being broken. You can't guide somebody who don't want to move. That's one of the hardest truths to swallow, especially when you see potential in somebody. You see their light even when they're only showing darkness. But sometimes love make you blind to reality. You start thinking your effort can change somebody's mindset. It can't. Change only come when a person decides they don't live in the same cycle. You ever try to pull somebody out the mud and they just keep sinking deeper? You standing there and giving your hand trying to lift them, but they fighting you without even realizing it. They say they want better, but every move they make keep dragging them back to the same pain. And you start carrying guilt like it's your job to fix them. But it ain't. You can inspire, you can guide, but you can't carry another person's healing. That's a solo journey. When you got a big heart, it's hard to watch somebody self-destruct. You see what they could be if they just believed in themselves the way you believe in it. But sometimes people get addicted to their pain. They don't even want peace for real. They just want comfort in chaos. They want attention for their wounds, but not responsibility for their choices. And if you keep trying to save them, eventually that storm becomes yours. You start drowning trying to rescue somebody who never learned to swim. It's love that make you stay longer than you should. You start thinking if you love them harder, they'll heal faster. But it don't work like that. Healing don't come from love. It comes from truth. It comes from accountability. It comes from a decision to change. You can hand them the tools, but you can't build the house for them. You can't do their work and yours too. That's how people lose themselves in relationships. They forget the difference between support and saving. Saving somebody means you putting their pain before your peace. Supporting somebody means you guiding them while protecting your own energy. There's a line there, and once you cross it, you start confusing your purpose with their problem. You can't play God in someone else's story. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is step back and let them face their reflection. You ever notice how some people only want help on their terms? They don't want advice, they want validation. They don't want healing, they want sympathy. They don't want change, they want comfort. You can't give them that forever because after a while, their lack of growth starts draining your own. And here's the truth. Love don't mean you gotta lose yourself. Real love got boundaries. It knows when to step in and when to step away. You can love somebody from a distance and still wish them healing. You can still pray for them while protecting your peace. Because trying to save someone who ain't ready will have you forgetting you got your own purpose to live. Sometimes walking away is a real act of love. It's saying, I believe in your potential, but I can't keep hurting myself waiting for you to see. That's strength, that's wisdom. You can't drag somebody to elevation, they gotta wanna climb. And when they finally ready, they'll remember the seed you planted. But until then, you gotta let life teach them what your love couldn't. You can't pour your energy into someone who don't value it. You can't be loyal to someone's potential and ignore their patterns. Patterns don't lie, energy don't lie. If someone keeps choosing the same pain, you can't love them out of it. That's their battle. And sometimes the best thing you can do for them is to stop rescuing them from the lessons they need to learn. Everybody don't want to be saved. Some people got to hit rock bottom before they realize they deserve more. Let them. Don't interfere with their process. Because while you're trying to fix them, life trying to grow them, you might just be standing in the way. So yeah, you can't save someone who ain't ready, but you can save yourself from wasting your energy trying. You can keep your heart pure, your spirit aligned, and your focus forward. Love them enough to let them find their own way. Because if they ever decide to rise, they'll remember who believed in them. But until then, protect your peace and let them meet you when they're ready to heal. Growth creates distance. That's just real. When you start evolving, when you start leveling up mentally, spiritually, emotionally, you're gonna notice the gap. People you used to vibe with don't hit the same. Conversations start feeling small. Environments that once felt like home start feeling heavy. It ain't ego. It ain't arrogance. It's alignment. You just becoming who you're meant to be, and not everybody can walk that road with you. See, growth don't announce itself. It just happens quietly. One day you wake up and realize you can't move how you used to. You don't argue the same. You don't chase the same. You don't tolerate the same. Your peace got expensive. Your focus became your filter. You start caring less about being understood and more about being aligned. And that shift, it scares people. Because when you start growing, you start fitting into places built for your old self. The crazy thing is, most people love the idea of your growth until it distances you from them. They loved you when you were accessible, when you matched their rhythm, when your distractions looked like theirs. But when you start protecting your time, when you start saying no, when you start focusing on your goals, they take it personal. They don't see it as evolution, they see it as separation. But the truth is, growth is separation. You can't expand without shedding what's holding you down. You gotta understand, every chapter don't got the same characters. Some people are only meant to walk with you for a season, to teach you a lesson, to spark a change. But when you try to drag them into the next phase, you slow your own progress. You can't elevate while carrying the weight of people who don't want to climb. That's why distance is necessary. It creates clarity. It shows you who was for you and who was just near you. When you start elevating, your energy changes. You move different. You think deeper. You start talking purpose instead of problems. You want peace more than parties. And the ones who still stuck in chaos start calling you distant, but they don't realize you just operating at a different frequency now. You're not judging them. You're just choosing yourself. Growth is lonely sometimes. You won't lose people you never thought you would. You won't outgrow relationships you once prayed for. You're gonna find yourself standing alone in rooms that used to be full. But solitude ain't punishment, it's preparation. It's where you learn to move with discipline. It's where your vision gets sharper. It's where you finally hear your own thoughts without all the noise. It's hard though, because your heart still got love for people who can't meet you where you are. You wanna bring them with you. You wanna see them win too. But sometimes they gotta stay behind until they're ready to grow. You can't force timing. You can't force maturity. You can only be an example of what evolution looks like. And when they start seeing the peace you move with, the glow you carry, the focus you protect, they'll understand. They'll realize you didn't change on them, you just changed for you. That's the difference. Growth creates distance, but it also builds strength. It teaches you how to detach without bitterness, how to love without losing yourself, how to wish well without waiting around. It shows you that peace ain't found in crowds, it's found in clarity. People gonna say you acting different, let them. That's proof you're growing. You're not supposed to stay the same. If your circle's still comfortable after your evolution, you ain't grown enough. Growth should make the wrong ones uncomfortable and the right ones inspired. It separates the real from the familiar. And when you look back, you're gonna realize that distance didn't destroy anything. It revealed everything. Who supported you in silence, who rooted for your downfall, who clapped when you won. That space that once felt empty starts to feel sacred because you finally see what's meant for you don't require convincing. Growth gonna cost you friendships, relationships, habits, and comfort, but it'll reward you with peace, purpose, clarity, and freedom. That's a trade you take every time. You can't build a new life while living like your old one. So yeah, growth creates distance, but that distance is divine. It's not punishment, it's direction. It's God moving you from circles that limit you to spaces that elevate you. Embrace it, walk with it, stand tall in it, because the distance you're feeling now, that's the gap between who you were and who you're becoming. And that gap, that's where greatness starts. Walk away with peace, not pain. That's the part most people don't understand. Leaving don't always mean you bitter. Sometimes it means you finally choosing calm over chaos. It's not about giving up. It's about letting go of what keeps disturbing your spirit. You can love somebody, care for them, wish them the best, and still know they're not meant to walk the next mile with you. That's growth. That's maturity. That's understanding that peace gonna always be more valuable than pride. See, most people stay too long because they think leaving means losing. They think walking away means weakness. But real strength is knowing when to stop fighting battles that drain your soul. You can't keep proving your worth in a space that refuses to see it. You can't keep bleeding just to keep the bond alive. Love don't require that kind of suffering. When it's real, it brings balance. When it's forced, it brings burnout. Sometimes the lesson ain't in holding on, it's in releasing with grace. It's in saying, I did my part, I gave my all, now I choose peace. You don't gotta hate nobody to move on. You don't gotta throw dirt on the name or replay the pain in your mind. Just walk away quiet, calm, and centered. That silence speaks louder than any goodbye. You gotta understand, closure don't always come with conversations. Sometimes it comes with acceptance. You stop waiting for apologies, stop chasing explanations, stop needing them to see what they lost. You just start focusing on your own healing. You start realizing that protecting your energy is more important than protecting the image of what was. Pain gonna tempt you to act out, to get even, to prove a point. But peace tells you to elevate, to move different, to detach with dignity. You don't owe nobody chaos just because they brought it to you. The real win is walking away without hate in your heart. That's how you keep your power. Every ending don't gotta be war. Sometimes it's just two souls growing in different directions. And that's okay. You can appreciate what it taught you and still recognize it ain't for you anymore. Holding on to something that's expired only poisons your future. You can't pour new blessings into a heart still filled with resentment. You gotta make space. It hurts, no doubt. Walking away always does, especially when you had good intentions, when you saw potential, when you invested time and emotion. But peace ain't free. You gotta earn it by releasing what disturbs it. You gotta stop trying to rewrite a story that already ended. Some chapters are meant to close, no matter how much you love the plot. People gonna try to pull you back, test your calm, question your decisions. They're gonna say you switched up, you're cold, you're heartless, but they don't know what it took for you to stay solid while falling apart inside. They don't see the nights you prayed for strength, the times you swallowed pain just to keep the peace. So when you finally walk away, don't explain yourself. Just move with peace. Time gonna tell the truth. And one day you're gonna wake up lighter. That weight that been sitting on your chest gonna be gone. That confusion in your mind gonna clear. You're gonna realize walking away wasn't losing, it was alignment. You made room for better, for peace that don't need explanation, for love that don't need repair. Walking away with peace means you forgive without forgetting the lesson. You accept without bitterness. You let life unfold without forcing what's gone. It's knowing that not every bond is meant to last forever. Some people come to teach you self-worth, others to test it. Either way, they played their part. And when that part's over, you exit with gratitude. Don't carry pain that don't belong to you. Don't replay moments that already taught you what you needed to learn. Walk away with peace in your chest with your head high, knowing you didn't fold on your values. You stayed solid, you gave love, you tried, that's enough. In the end, peace is the real closure, not revenge, not words, not explanations. Just knowing you left with your integrity intact, your energy clean, and your spirit unshaken. That's the power move. That's how you win quietly. So when it's time to go with peace. Leave the noise behind. Walk light, walk humble, walk healed. Because when you walk away with peace, you don't just end something, you elevate from it. And that's the kind of freedom no heartbreak can take away.